Hello. Thanks for joining us today at the St. Louis International Film Festival. We're here with writer, director, star of the film, Zoe.
Hi.
Thanks for coming from Chicago to be with us virtually in St. Louis at the film festival right now.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
This program is special to me because first-time films are, filmmaking is hard anyway, but a first film specifically really influenced your whole career, and getting to see those first films is so exciting. So thank you so much for being a part of this program. And
Thank
you're from the area, so you went to Webster?
Yeah, I went to Webster University. I have my bachelor's degree in religion and social sciences. So not filmmaking, but still a very fun degree.
You kind of got roped into filmmaking though, I hear.
Yeah, my two roommates, Lindsay and Kristen, were both film majors. And I sort of participated in their films and then ended up helping Kristen write and produce her senior overview, which I also starred in, also as a hyperbolized version of myself. And then I got the bug. And then now here I am.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, where does the story come from for you? So when you wrote the script, what is it for you?
Yeah, so the script is semi autobiographical. I have PCOS, and I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. I got diagnosed with that when I was about a junior, I think, in high school. And with that comes the possibility of issues with fertility. And so I've always been acutely aware of this like time clock essentially of my fertility window. And outside of that, I think women and, people with uteruses are aware that like 30 is that cutoff point. We're always like told that. And so having these like massive, clocks that we're aware of our whole lives, I thought, well, it would be interesting if I like kind of dialed that up to an 11 and gave myself as a 22-year-old 1 year to conceive a child and kind of what that would look like and play out. So that's where the story originated from.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. And had you always wanted to be in it as well and direct it as well?
Yeah. It kind of was just like a natural thing that I was writing about myself and similar instances, that I would play myself. I pictured myself playing it, but then it kind of became like an economical sort of idea of I don't have to pay myself to be myself. I paid my whole crew, but and also we filmed the movie over the course of 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
And so I knew if I was free to direct, my star, like the star of it would also be free, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I didn't have to like coordinate someone else's schedule. Like I'm free. Okay. So the person that's in every scene is going to be free, so it kind of just like organically worked out that way.
Awesome. Before I realized that you were in it and the director, I watched it before I knew that. And your characters, all of them seem so comfortable in their own skin. Can you talk about kind of your process?
Sure. When I wrote the movie, I wrote it based off of pretty much people that I know are like a combination. So it's easy to write people that were real, and not like tropes, because I was basing them off of people in my life. So like the character Joe, played by my super talented friend Kennedy, that character is based off of sort of a culmination of my roommates and then also my best friend from childhood, and sort of like how our dynamic is. And so it was easy to kind of pull from that. So I could make Joe extremely real. And with her character specifically, I wanted to have like an LGBT character in it who, is never talked about. It's just like a completely normal thing, that we see her with a woman, we see her with a guy, and it's like no one says anything about it. And I just like really like wanted that playing in the background. So yeah, it was super easy to write. And then also, not easy to write, but it was easy to pull from those sources. Like my sister in the movie, Tegan, is based off of my real life sister Tia, and is played by my sister Tia. So it was easy to to write and perform that way, because it was, in a lot of ways, it was just like how Tia and I are dynamic in real life. So yeah, I didn't want to, I wrote what I knew basically, and I wrote characters that I knew. Cool. So yeah.
There's some improv involved as well on set?
Yes.
I thought maybe.
I wanted it to feel extremely, extremely natural. I wanted the movie to feel like you were there, like you're a fly on the wall watching, you know, Ivan's life sort of play out. So a lot of times I kind of like tossed the script aside, and I just wanted to see what the actors what we could do. The actor who plays Roger is my real life partner, Adam.
Okay.
And he is very comfortable with improv. He does acting and directing as well, and he's really, really comfortable with improv. And I knew in like certain scenes, like when Ivan is with Roger for the first time and they're just like bantering back and forth, I knew nothing I could write could be as like as authentic as if he and I were just going back and forth. So, I mean, I wrote a lot of the script, but a lot of it was like, okay, like Adam and I know we have to hit this, this, and this in this scene to like drive the story forward. Let's just go and like see if we can get there organically without having to like your line, my line, your line, my line. And I think it really worked out really well. And then directing children, there's a lot of kids in the movie, comes with its own hurdles. Yeah. And the scene where Jade, who's played by Willow, and I play with Izbek Oven, I had it scripted and I had like certain shots I wanted to get. But right before we started filming, I said to Kristen, we're not following the script, go with your gut. Yeah. Follow us with your camera. Willow and I are just gonna play with this Easy Bake. And I'm gonna try to like guide it how I want it, but we're just gonna play with it because I want the authentic, you know, an authentic reaction to Willow playing with it for the first time. Well, we're going to get that because she's never played with it before. And I've hyped up this toy to her for a year. So she's actually excited to play with it. Just follow us playing with it. And I think that really, really, really paid off. Just letting the kids like be kids, you know, they're going to look like kids if they're acting like kids. And yeah, so there was quite a bit of improv. And Kennedy does improv in Chicago at Second City and IO. So there was a lot of improv between her and I knew that she would be really, really good at it and could just like dive right in, and she was great. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Must have made editing a little hard though. There was probably lots of stuff that you had to make choices.
Yeah. Some of it about midway, well, maybe not midway, but maybe like a fourth of the way through the film making process, I needed another camera person. And so we brought on Catherine to do a second camera. So on the scenes that we were improvising, we had two cameras. So it was easy to cut back and forth because I'd have it, you know, from both sides. So yeah, that made it tremendously easier. The scenes, like the scene I talked about earlier with me and Roger at his house talking for the first time, we had three cameras going. And so we, for the most part, did that all in one take. Cool. And then I had, you know, every angle I needed, and I could just like, you know, quickly edit it. On the days that we were doing improv and we only had one camera, yes, it was harder. It was harder. Yeah.
Awesome. Talk about your music. I think your music is such a fantastic element. And
Thank
what
you.
is your involvement? How did that all come to be?
My brother is going to be very happy that when I was first writing the movie, you know, when you think about writing a movie, you're like, oh, it's like a huge undertaking. Like, I have to have actors, I need to have equipment, and I need to have music, because like music has to be really good for the story. And my brother and I, when we were kids, we would make music together. We would do like Talking Heads or like Neil Young covers together, or like write our own weird music that was kind of a weird mix of the two. And on a whim, my partner was like, Zoe, you could make the music for this. And I was like, that's really sweet, but you're wrong. And I was like, you know what? I bet Book could do it, my brother Book. And so I sent him a text and I said, hey, do you want to do the music for Easy Bake? And within a second, he was like, yep, I'll do it. He was like, I'll figure it out. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And then he had read the script and he loved the script. And he, before that moment, and then he, like the next day, had sent me a demo of this song that just really encapsulated like the feeling of the film. And I was like, how the heck did you do this? Like he wrote this song from like my perspective of, you know, how I view the world and, you know, how women are put in these boxes. And I was like, how did you do this overnight? And it was incredible. And so then just for like a solid year, Book would just send me these demos that he had like made. And we got some more like professional like equipment to make it. And then we have this friend Logan, who also is a good singer-songwriter, and she threw herself in with him, and they just took it and ran with it. And they just kept making these like beautiful songs. And I was just blown away that they could do this, and it fit them, you know, it fitted so perfectly. And with that, yeah, that was amazing. I can't believe like how lucky I am that my brother and I, you know, our relationship is one where we support each other's creative endeavors without giving pause. He was just like in it, and then he exploded, and now he and I are like making music again, like
Awesome.
regularly. So that has like spawned its whole other like beast now of like, we're making music now.
Cool.
But yeah, so he made all of that, and Logan, you know, brought in something, her voice. My idea, our collective idea was that the music would be sort of like Ivan's conscious, you know, like she's doing all of these things, but like that music is kind of like the antithesis of like what's going on around her. So yeah, the music I think is one of the things that really like elevates the movie, and I'm very thankful for Book and Logan for making that for the movie.
Cool. You have a very talented family, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to get back together. So this film is a part of the New Filmmakers Forum, which is 5 first-time or second-time directors. And we're going to do a panel, which we usually do all together on a stage, but we're going to do it via online on November 21st. So we welcome you, audience members, to join us again with the other directors and learn a little bit more about the filmmaking process. Thank you again for being with us and answering some of the questions. And we'll see you again at the panel.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hey.
Bye.
Oops.